Hey everyone, Forever2 here, and welcome back to Reverse 1999 for an anecdote that I have to do. In the last video, we have done Beryl Bouanich's anecdote, or at least I guess you could say story, along with puzzles and her survey as well, just to test out her abilities. And today, we are going to be going through Handover Day, or in other words, Matilda's anecdote. And with only 2 days left of this event as well, it won't be long before, I think 11 days is when Broom might come out as well. So, yeah, that's nothing else for me to say. You'll get her personal little Sayub in the figures. It's just a 5-star little thing. And it hopes that we can find that Matilda will evolve into a 5-star from a 5-star to a 6-star. But we're going to go through her anecdote and see what this is about. And it's such an interesting thing too. So there's a bunch of crystals here. This is her orbigulum here. And right, rekindled memories is like 3 pieces of memory here. Like monitor assistance. So in stage 1, remember a conversation with the monitor director right after graduation. And in stage 3, successfully use your arcane skill to save a falling boy. So this must be probably her moments, I guess, that are particularly unique to her. Then share your peculiar thoughts with a certain girl. Might be Sinetto. I'm not sure. It's probably going to be 8 parts, maybe. So let's go ahead and go through these memories of her. Go through everything here. And I hope you enjoy the video as well. Okay. Unexpected but fated. Guest room St. Pavlov. Okay. Well, what do you think, Maman? The girl twirls across the black and white tiles, showing off her coat embroidered with the same pattern. It hangs a little loose on her, but the joy in her movement makes such a detail irrelevant. You look beautiful, my dear, but there, much better. Beryl brushes the fringe from her daughter's forehead and nods with a gentle smile. This is actually literally just like text. My, how you've changed. Of course, Maman. Maman, I'm all grown up now. Look. Matilda hops over to her desk and grabs a letter. She carefully unfolds it, as if afraid it might tear. In recognition of Special Investigator Matilda Bouanich's outstanding performance, the committee has decided to promote her to Official Investigator Level 3. This appointment is effective immediately. Identity and clearance levels will be updated shortly. St. Pavlov Foundation Investigator Management Center. Finally! I've waited so very, very long for this! Aha! Finally! I cannot do her. Aha! Something like that. Now, you can't make any more excuses, Maman. She puffs her cheeks and shoots her mother a playful glare. Some time ago, her mother had vanished without a trace. Even the Foundation couldn't find her. Matilda had spent many nights tossing and turning over it. Then a few days ago, Beryl reappeared, safe and calm as ever. Rumor had it she had returned to meet with Madame Z, and Matilda's old classmate, the one who became the timekeeper. But no matter how Matilda pressed for answers, her mother only smiled and said,
No need to hurry.
You must uncover the truth yourself. I have already taught you everything you need to know. Just as she is now, that's how her mother's always been. Matilda has learned to accept it. Alright, the only thing left is to hand over my duties as monitor assistant. They said they have already found someone, and I must meet her today. While I'm away, the newcomer will take over disciplinary duties at the school. So, today is my great foray into tutorship. Lucky me. And I'm pretty much afraid that my recording is not going to record because it's just lagging. It's field trip day, so there won't be any students around. Oh, I can click that? Okay. It's an extended learning curriculum launched by the SPDM in the past 2 years, sending students to explore Foundation branches, Laplace laboratories, and Xeno training grounds. While the options are limited, at least from now on, the students have one more event to look forward to besides the annual parade ceremony. It's said that the proposal for this extended learning curriculum went through a multi-year process before it was ultimately approved and executed. Weird. She confidently puffs her chest and tilts her head, a slight frown growing on her face. Still, ever since I woke up this morning, I've had this uneasy feeling like something bad is going to happen. I've tried divination with my operculum, but the reading was unclear. Matilda glances at her mother, already knowing what kind of answer to expect. I have taught you more than just divination. Aha! I know what's bothering me. It's that awful woman, the monitor director. She doesn't like me. Well, I don't like her either. Transition. I'm not sure if I was supposed to download some data for that one, but I think this is how it's supposed to be. Huh? It was not long after Matilda's graduation, on one of her many visits to St. Patlaw Foundation, that she caught the sight of a familiar figure in the hall. Hello, Madame C. Hello, Matilda. There was no way she let this opportunity slip by. I submitted my application to become an investigator, but I still haven't heard back. All my classmates have been excited except me. Do you know why? Do you? Investigator. She paused for a moment, then gave a faint smile. I'm not sure about the details, but if I remember correctly, you're younger than most of your classmates, aren't you? Do you mean my age? This wasn't the answer she was hoping for, and not something that could be fixed through determination alone. But I know you did well in school. I'm sure you'll make an excellent investigator one day. But this is a dangerous line of work. Perhaps for now, you could start as a monitor assistant, build some experience. What do you say? What? An exclamation of disbelief from a voice Matilda had hoped she'd never hear again. The monitor director stormed over, her face dark with outrage. Madame C, I know I asked for help in finding a candidate, but, huh? Please tell me you're joking. The director shot Matilda a glare, her expression a mix of shock and fury. She's got to be one of the last disciplined students we've ever had. Those who assist with discipline may create their own. Different choices unlock different rekindled memories. So let's tap on the rekindled memory that is unlocked. I think I'm supposed to click on this. So in stage 3, successfully use your arcane skill to save a falling boy. I'm not sure what I could do with this here, maybe. So we can review. What does this mean? Oh, never mind. So let's continue on. The ideal candidate. 2 girls, one after the other, walk down the shaded path that follows the school building. One is chattering non-stop, the other quietly following behind. Here we are. This is the path all students take to class every day. The class monitor reports to us on attendance and whether anyone is feeling unwell. If anyone is ill, it is our responsibility to check on them. We just use the same old method. Take a drop of blood, drip it into a glass of water, and if the fur inside changes color, there is a problem. But sometimes this method isn't so sensitive. So if a student looks really awful, I just... Are you listening? Of course, Miss Matilda. The girl's eyes briefly flick up from behind her glasses, then drop right back to the notebook in her hands. Matilda can't help but recall the moment the monitor director introduced this new monitor assistant, the successor. Oh, this is Miss Lavender Dale, one of this year's graduates. The monitor director rests a hand on the shoulder of a black-haired girl standing nearby. She is her class's valedictorian and demonstrates the greatest discipline. I believe she is the best candidate for the position of monitor assistant. So, I guess the monitor director did not like the fact that Matilda was recommended as monitor assistant. Wow. That's her. The usually stone-faced director looked at the bespectacled girl with visible pride and satisfaction, the kind that left no room for doubt. By comparison, her opinion of Matilda was likely the complete opposite. Since she started as a monitor assistant, the two have clashed more than once, Matilda giving in more often than not. But there is no question that those exchanges were unpleasant for both sides. Matilda snaps back to attention, noticing the steady scratch of a pen across paper. What are you writing? Did I really talk that much? Just adding some notes. Reminders for myself, so her name is Lavender. The eyes behind the lenses drift back to the notebook. So we're going to read her what she's writing. It is a subject that Matilda prefers not to discuss. At her former school, Matilda Bouanich was always the top student. However, since enrolling in SPDM, she has never ranked higher than third. She couldn't understand it. They were taking the same classes, and no one was putting in extra hours of study time. Why was she falling apart? After a lot of careful thought, she theorized that the others must have a special trick when it came to taking class notes. Asking to borrow the notes directly would be the best approach, and Matilda figured that they were unlikely to refuse the request. But she couldn't bring herself to ask. Still young, she viewed them as rivals and was unwilling to make a move that suggested weakness. She tried countless times to muster the courage, only to stop herself, retreating in embarrassment beneath the questioning eyes. Then one morning, an opportunity presented itself. The classroom was empty, and only the children's stationery books, and most importantly, their notes, remained on the desk. The temptation of the devil proved irresistible. Drawn by some inexplicable force, she edged closer to the desk that didn't belong to her. Ah! A noise came from outside the door, making her jump like a surprised rabbit, causing her to crash straight into the newcomer. The suspect, Matilda Bouanich, was immediately apprehended, thus ending her criminal career. What? It's just note-taking. Sorry. Yet to this day, she still remembers what she saw in that hurried moment. Questions the instructor mentioned, and those not mentioned. Some came with answers, and some without. Every page of that notebook was filled with dense, cramped writing. It turned out that the orange-haired girl, whom she had always regarded as merely a rival, harbored far deeper thoughts than she let on. Now the question is the girl before her the same? Skipping that long thing, the pen is never stopping. A cloud of suspicion builds in Matilda until a thought takes shape. Wait, don't tell me. The uneasy feeling that's been hanging over her since this morning washes over her once more. If something were to go wrong with her promotion, there's only one person who could be behind it: the monitor director. It may not even be out of malice. The woman has been in her post for decades. She's a relic. It's not as if Matilda ever means to defy the rules. It's just that the whole system is hopelessly outdated. A good arcanist needs broad knowledge, an open mind, deep understanding of arcanum, and a quick judgment in crisis. But at the SPDM, whoever obeys the dusty student handbook best is considered excellent. The more like a puppet, the better. Becoming a monitor assistant was never her plan, but once appointed, she tried to bring something new and better to the school. Sadly, the director, that was an unforgivable misdemeanor. To the director, yeah. Alright.
No.
It's more like she's always believed that deep down. What did you say? Nothing. Matilda flinches, immediately on guard. She was thinking out loud. If her guess is right, this first year may be the director's little spy, sent to evaluate her performance. You said if a student really looks awful, you would what? Nothing. Usually, Matilda will judge for herself whether a student is faking or truly sick. If it's the latter, she has her own tricks to help them out. But now's not the time to talk about that. If she wants her promotion to stay on track, she better keep her progressive ideas under wraps, at least for today. Oh, great. I will always be reading these things, because it's going to catch my eye. A slight stinging sensation pulsed at the tip of her fingertip, but it was nothing next to the pain stabbing through her head. The blood drawn by the syringe dropped into the cup. After a long wait, however, the fern still remained a vibrant green. Looks like I'm alright. Sorry, I'll head back to class now. Lying back down, Your face is as pale as a ghost. She was gently pushed back into the bed. The person in front of her pulled a fountain pen from the pocket before smearing some ink into the leaf. The leaf has changed color, indicating that you aren't feeling well. You should rest for today. Noticing her stunned expression, the monitor assistant gave her a wink. Huh, guess you didn't know. This is one of the most advanced testing methods available. So she just cheated. What does that mean? Oh, I'm not gonna ask. She faked. I don't think she faked it. Okay, whatever that is. Next, I'll take you to the infirmary. If a student gets ill or injured and no teachers are around, we are responsible for basic first aid. Follow me. This way behind the building is quicker. She stops in her tracks, the girl behind her letting out a small gasp. About 3 stories high, on the back wall of the school building, 2 white-clad figures are awkwardly edging along a window frame. What are you two doing? What are they doing indeed? I wish I could see what is going on, but too well. Before the fall. That is what. Oh no! It's the monitor assistant!
Hurry up!
Go! Climb! The kids can't be older than 6 or 7. The moment they spot Matilda and Lavender, panic flashes across their faces, and they scramble upward in a flurry. Isn't today supposed to be field trip day? What are students still doing here? There's no time to think. The boy slips, his foot missing the ledge below. This is where we save him. He's going to fall. The window to act is gone in an instant. The incantation Matilda learned in class springs to her lips. Sve. Oh! It was counting down! I did not know that. I was. Oh my! No wonder it said different endings. The boy freezes midair, then slowly drifts down onto the grass. His face is as pale as chalk. Ha! Good for you! The great Matilda Bouanich was here. That could have ended very badly. If by choice, yes. You applied your knowledge beyond the classroom. That alone outperformed 80% of your fellow students. If I were to miss it, I guess it ended differently. I did not know I was supposed to collect that. But Matilda has let her guard down too soon. Stony! Are you okay? Ah! The girl leans forward to look, and in a panic of seeing her friend fall, loses her balance. Oh, come on! Ah! She comes hurling down, and this time Matilda is too slow. A thought flashes through her mind, heavy with dread. It's over. But what follows isn't the dull thud she expects, nor a child's frightened wail. It's a familiar voice.
Hey.
You have got to be kidding me. It's Jay.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on? I've seen rain and hail fall from the sky, but never kids. A young man in silver-white armor stands before them. Luckily, he appeared just in time to catch the girl. He gently sets the girl down. She is unhurt, but pale and shaken. Razor Squad! Superb timing! But how did you... She freezes, and as she notices the face beneath the helmet. La Vache! Jay! Long time no see, French fry. Didn't think I'd run into you today. What are you doing here? Did you join the Racer Squad? Wait, he's in Racer Squad? That dude? She steps closer, her eyes lighting up as she examines his gleaming armor. So that's what it was. I thought it was like... I think this was the armor that he wore when Chapter 11 came out as well. The World War I one. I didn't think it was him wearing... I thought he would be wearing some sort of Foundation uniform. But I don't think he likes their clothing, so he just made his own. He just made armor. That's funny. Not exactly. I'm what's the word? Right, an intern. The squad's doing a presentation here soon, so we came to scout the place. Gonna be a mock battle too. The captain's making me do it.
Come on.
I get that it's an honor or whatever, but I ain't the kind of guy to pretend to fight. Cramps my style. What? You're the great show-off. It should be easy, non? Hey, I ain't a show-off. I'm the real deal. Don't gotta put in on when... I'm about to have hiccups, guys. Don't gotta put it on when cool just oozes from you. An unexpected reunion, full of laughter and nostalgia. So, you're a mentor now, huh? Not bad. He glances at Lavender standing quietly behind her, that gives Matilda a pat on the shoulder. Make sure you set a good example, huh? With a wave, the young man strides off. Time to get back to business. I wonder what happens if I did not, press it in time. He might be hurt. I'm not gonna test it to find out, so we're just gonna do it. Do you two have any idea how dangerous that was? Well, what do you have to say for yourselves? Why were you sneaking into the building? Planning a prank? The two kids exchange a nervous glance. No matter how Matilda questions them, they just mumble. You do realize that according to school rules, this means you'll be sent to... Matilda can't bring herself to finish the sentence, but Lavender delivers the verdict coldly. The guardhouse. As expected of a lackey puppet of the monitor as director. Alright, so here's our clue here. In stage 5, we share our peculiar thoughts with a certain girl. Not sure if it's Sonetto or Lavender. But I didn't know there was quick time events. Curiously unspoiled.
No.
I don't want to go to the guardhouse. It's dark and cold in there. And the rats are as big as puppies. And they bite. Please. Just this once. Let us go, please. The two continue to plead as Matilda marches them to the guardhouse. She almost gives in. She's done the same before. Sure, mistakes should be punished, but it should be something like a week and without candy or have allowance for a month. She knows what the guardhouse is like. The place has cruel little lessons meant to make naughty children remember their mistakes. No, rules are rules. If you don't want to end up there, you shouldn't have been so reckless. Or you shouldn't have been caught. Matilda finishes the thought silently and steels herself. As their cries continue behind her, she glances back at Lavender. She's scribbling once again in her notebook. You really gonna have to grab that notebook and see what she's writing. At some point. Not this one. Much too drafty. They'll catch a cold. And this one? Why is the floor all wet? Ugh, disgusting. That will need be cleaning later. Matilda opens door after door until only one room remains. What are all these shamirs doing here? I swear I cleaned them out last time. But I suppose there's nothing left. Nothing for it. This is the only one left. The moment she steps inside, the kids turn pale. But don't worry, I will chase them out. Fuego burn. A burst of flame flashes across the cold tiles. Startled, the shamirs scurry out through the crack under the floor. By the time the last one has wiggled its way out, the room already feels warmer. The handbook doesn't mention cleaning the guardhouse room before locking students inside. It's the first time her successor has spoken up. And does it say we cannot? I see. Matilda notices Lavender's eyes widen slightly before she flips her notebook open again to jot something down. Who knows what? Either way, Matilda just can't bring herself to leave a couple of kids who look like they just started elementary arcanum locked up in a room full of shamirs. Alright, get in. According to the rules, you'll have to stay here until evening. I'll return later to check on you. As long as you behave and think long and hard about what you've done, you will make it out in no time. Make it out in time for dinner. Matilda turns to leave, but feels someone tugging at her coat.
Please.
Can you stay with us? Everyone else went out on the field trip. It's boring being stuck here alone. A thought crosses Matilda's mind. That's right. Today is field trip day. What are you two still doing here? We wanted to go, but they found an old notebook with instructions on how to make a football in it. Apparently from a former student. They smashed the window on the second floor. I'm sorry. We were just curious. The girl's cheeks flush bright red.
Because...
We only wanted to know what it's like outside. What people out there do. That's against the rules. The student handbook clearly states that students must not engage with the outside world unless given express permission. Express permission. But if a teacher's watching, then it's fine, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have field trips or parade ceremonies. The girl puffs up her cheeks and looks at Lavender, her fingers tightening around Matilda's coat.
Please.
Tell us a story about being a special investigator. I heard you talking with that big boy just now. You've been to lots of places, haven't you? India, America. I've only seen those names in books. Please. Yeah, please. All eyes fall on Matilda. She has no intention of saying no. Well, there is choice of saying yes or no, maybe. But an unconventional answer. Truthfully, I was absolutely terrified back then. I really thought I was going to die. But thanks to the Razor Squad, we made it out alive. Inside the orbiculum on our lap, dazzling scenes of adventure unfold. When the story ends, the kids' mouths were still hanging open in awe.
Wow.
What happened next? What about the energy healer lady? She registered with the Foundation, but left soon after. She's a wandering dancer, free as the wind, always drifting wherever life takes her. Wandering dancer. I'm not sure if she's talking about Willow, but she doesn't use wind.
That's awesome.
I like that Indian guy better, with the mask and the mechanical arms. So cool. Miss Matilda, tell us again about how he smashed that door open. Literally, he just one-punched it. The two chatter endlessly around her, their eyes shining brightly in the dim guardhouse. Finally, they asked the question. Can we be like you someday, Miss Matilda? Go out into the world and meet lots of people. Of course you can. But first, you need to grow up a bit. There's a reason the student handbook forbids leaving school without permission. The two kids exchanged glances.
Listen.
We heard some rumors. They said a few years ago some kids snuck out of school and something bad happened. Who told you that? Who's spreading those lies? Lavender's sharp tone makes both children fall silent. Then Matilda speaks. They weren't troublemakers. They were just like you, curious about the world outside. There is nothing wrong with that. Miss Matilda. Matilda ignores Lavender's clear disapproval, gently placing her hands on the children's small shoulders. They just didn't know how dangerous the outside world can be. There are terrible disasters, and people far more terrifying than any monster. The storm, Manus Vindictae. Names that are not supposed to be spoken on school grounds, but Matilda has seen too many who have suffered because of them. Those cunning villains set a trap, luring them into a nightmare, into a lie. It wasn't any of those children's fault, but one of them decided to take all the blame alone. Matilda recalls the face of that old classmate. That day, she'd given her pair of crystal earrings as a parting gift. The next time she saw her, she only caught a glimpse of her back. She's always hated watching people walk away. That's why I became an investigator. I will help the Foundation uncover the truth behind those disasters and ensure the people responsible get what they deserve. I will not allow the same tragedy to happen again. Her calm voice fills the room, carrying a quiet but unshakable resolve. The two children exchange a look before speaking up. So what's written in that student handbook? Is it true? It says we should devote ourselves to ensure the peace and stability of the human world. So we have to become investigators too, or do something else that's valuable.
Which means...
That's what our future will be, right? Well... She glances back at Lavender, who is eyeing her closely behind her glasses. The correct answer is clear, but... Are you kidding me? Oh, come on! I mean... Should I say not necessarily? Do we... Oh, man. I hate these, man. Ah, damn. I don't. Man, let's see. We could say. I guess this is one of the choices of the rekindle memory. We could say that's right, but not necessarily. I mean, we could say the correct answer, but I truly believe we should give her an unconventional answer. I think we should say not necessarily. We could say not necessarily? I think so. Yeah, because we could say that's right and say that that they could do something based on the handbook's rules and all that, but that's not true. I mean, I don't like when people's worth are people's worth are determined by how valuable they are. It just makes me feel sorry for them. So I'll say not necessarily. Not necessarily. Miss Matilda? Unable to hold back the truth, her words draw a startled gasp. Matilda clenches her teeth, electing to ignore it. The future belongs to all children. You are a representation of the infinite possibility. It's not easy. It will take the effort of everyone, and it will take yours too. When you're older, I mean. But once the crisis is over, I think people should be free to do what they truly want. Alright, so I'm not sure. Yeah, we could share our thoughts here. Maybe. I never checked the rewards here. Alright. And review? Right. Yeah, I'm not sure what would happen if I were to say yes. But that's where my true thoughts are. I didn't like how it was questioned. So the reflections she sees.
Oh.
Then I want to be a knight, like Bradamante. I want to write poems. I'm not very good yet, though. The children dream aloud about their futures, and the guardhouse fills with more laughter than it's ever heard before. At some point, the scratching of a pen and paper has stopped. Lavender taps her pen against the page, yet cannot bring herself to write a single word. What about you, Miss Matilda? What do you want to do?
For example?
Be a legendary investigator? The kind who writes a bunch of books about their adventures? Or like your mother, a traveling crystal merchant or fortune teller? Me? The question catches Matilda off guard. She thinks for a moment before replying. Ah, man. Me narrating these things makes my throat dry. Drinking water. I'm interested in all those things, but none of them feels like what she truly wants most. Her confusion makes the vision within the orbiculum fade, returning it to its original clarity. Your medium is reflection. Matilda recalls her mother's words from the first time she's performed an arcane skill. Signs of the future will present themselves to you through anything that holds a reflection. Our arcane skills mirror our nature. My nature? What does that mean, Maman? Her mother only smiled, as she always did. You will understand when the time comes. Matilda was too young to grasp her words at the time, so the memory buried itself deep in her mind. Now seeing her own face mirrored in the curve of the orbiculum, she begins to understand. It began with her grandfather's stories, tales of heroes who braved great adventures, achieved victory, and won the admiration of many. Those stories planted a seed in her heart. She wanted to become someone great, someone extraordinary. But stories alone couldn't teach her to achieve it. What did it mean to actually be someone great? Her first guiding star was her mother, Beryl Bouanich, always graceful, composed, and effortlessly brilliant. So Matilda mimicked her gestures, took up an orbiculum, and practiced the art of divination. Then came that fleeting encounter at the parade ceremony. From the moment she met her, she knew the orange-haired girl would forever be her rival, or love interest, but still. So she transferred to the SPDM, buried herself in books and learned the meaning of competition, cooperation, and friendship among her peers. And then came Verton. Matilda had once dismissed her as unfocused, yet even back in their student days, she couldn't deny her natural brilliance. After that incident, the timekeeper and her chief assistant drifted apart, and Matilda, refusing to be left behind, worked tirelessly, submitting application after application to finally become an official investigator. So that's what Maman meant. She finally realizes that her mother, Sonetto, even Verton, are all the same in one way. Some she saw as mentors, others as rivals, but what she truly saw in all of them were the reflections of her own aspirations. Following those reflections, she had always been tracing her path forward, step by step. The answer now clear, Matilda smiles. But none of that is what I want most. None of them is my final goal in life. I do plan to be a skilled investigator, and I want to refine my fortune telling, yes. But once all of those pressing problems are solved, there are still so many other things I'm curious to do, things I want to try. I cannot say what I'll be doing decades from today. The orbiculum in her hands glow once more, lighting the children's faces with the reflection of a dazzling world. The most important thing is to be yourself, to become the person you want to be. So there is one thing I'm certain of. When that time comes, I know I will truly become the great Matilda Bouanich. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Awesome here. God, and she wanted to leave these children here in the darkness. And I almost didn't imagine that Lavender would look like this, because to be honest, I think Lavender would have been better if she had these big round glasses that cover her eyes. Like, oh, we don't see what's behind the glasses, you know, like any other stereotypical anime glasses girl. Like, you know. Then I guess she became more curious. That's pretty nice. And yeah. So, seizing the opportunity. Alright, enough stories. Now you two stay put and finish your detention properly. If you're as curious as you say about the outside world, then don't do any more silly things. That way, next year, you'll get to go on a field trip with everyone else. Matilda turns to say goodbye, but the kids' faces crumple into disappointment. Even if we behave, we won't get picked. Picked? What do you mean? Field trip day should be for everyone. It was that way last year, but this time they said only the ones they chose get to go. The boy hangs his head. Something in his tone makes Matilda's eyes narrow. You mean there are more children still left in the school? Where are they? Matilda knocks once before pushing the door open. The classroom is full, but that's silent. So silent it's suffocating. All the blank young eyes turn toward her, pans freezing mid-stroke. Behind the podium, the monitor director rises to her feet. Nina! John? She stares in disbelief at the two children behind Matilda, then glances toward the back row. Two desks piled high with books. Ha! You two never learn your lesson, do you? Well done, Miss Bouanich. You two, up front, now. Madam Harper, I'm here for you. Matilda cuts her off. May I have a word outside? Something in Matilda's eyes make the director hesitate. After a moment's scrutiny, she agrees. Continue your self-study. I'll have no fooling around. Understood? I guess something's changing, huh? Miss Matilda, what are you going to do? In the few seconds before the monitor director steps out, Lavender tugs gently on Matilda's sleeve. You knew about this, didn't you? Why didn't you tell me? But when she sees Lavender's face, she swallows the rest of her words. Don't worry. Leave it to me. But the classroom door swings open. The director's gaze is as sharp as a blade. Miss Bouanich, make it quick. I don't have time to waste. I'd like to know why so many students weren't allowed to join the field trip. What is this new selection system about? It doesn't seem to match the reason why Madame Z introduced the field trip day. What are you implying? It's a school decision. Matilda takes a deep breath, her voice trembling slightly, but she's already made up her mind. Make a stand. Then the school's decision is wrong. She'd promised herself she would stay out of trouble today, but she's changed her mind. She was once like them, a scolded child in a classroom, looking out the window, hoping any passing grown-up would speak up in the name of fairness. But no one ever did. But now, she can be that grown-up she'd always hoped to see. Wrong? Do you hear what you're saying? We announced the rules long ago. Anyone who breaks school regulations or fails classes loses the right to participate. Yet these children still refuse to behave and still ignore their studies. Is that fair to the good students? Those who did everything right? Rekindle memories can unlock special options. So we did unlock rekindle memories. We did. But if we didn't, we would say but now we have another option. That's not the point. Select a rekindle memory and try using that mindset when talking to the director monitor. You're right. Good behavior deserves reward, and mistakes should have consequences. But this punishment isn't right. She looks toward the classroom, at the eyes peeking up at her, filled with quiet hope. Even the so-called bad kids have a right to be curious about the outside, a right to see the world they were born into. You know how precious this opportunity is for them? Every child deserves this right. And I did say that. When Madam C first proposed the field trip day, the goal was to let all students safely and appropriately explore the world beyond school walls. That is exactly what last year's notice said. It's still pinned on the main hall bulletin board. You heard me, Madam Harper. It says, all students. What exactly are you trying to say, Monitor Assistant Matilda Bouanich? They should be part of the field trip. I will take them. You? Her voice rises sharply, eyes locked on Matilda as though she's staring at some foreign creature. You don't have the authority. Not even I do. Miss Bouanich, you're being reckless. You have no idea what you're doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. The door is right here beside me. All I have to do is open it, and they will be free. I bumped into the racer squad earlier. They have a car to drive us to the site. We will all be safe with them there. The children may have missed the monitoring events, but if we leave now, we will still make it in time for the picnic and afternoon activities. Do you understand the consequences of this? I do, Madam Harper. Matilda takes a few steps forward and grips the doorknob. She opens the door. Alright. The undefined good. The sense of fulfillment that had filled Matilda's chest slowly fades as she steps beyond the gate, dimming with the evening sky.
What troubles you?
It seems my daughter had a little difficulty today. Maman, I told you. You didn't have to come to pick me up. Matilda's voice grows smaller under her mother's calm gaze. Looks like my promotion is done for. But I have no regrets. If I had to do it again, I would still make the same choice. I believe you have something to explain, Madam Harper. Why did I see students who were supposed to stay at school arrive at the field trip site with the racer squad? I don't recall rescinding my decision. Behind the heavy walnut desk, the man's tone reveals nothing, no anger, no approval. Lavender, standing behind the monitor director, trembles slightly. The director lowers her gaze, a look no student has likely ever seen before. My deepest apologies, sir. This was all a failure in my supervision. I'll make no excuses. You. The man behind the desk pauses, lost in brief thought. A heavy silence fills the room. But from what I've heard, it was that monitor assistant, Miss Matilda Bouanich, who arranged this whole thing, wasn't it? As you said, she's only an assistant. Her words are gently, yet firmly cut off. She reminds me of you when you were younger, always full of ideas. And the young lady behind you, your name is Lavender, correct? Madame Harper has spoken of you. What's your opinion of Matilda Bouanich? No need to hold back, Miss Lavender. I've already heard about Miss Bouanich's promotion to level 3 investigator. I'm genuinely pleased for her. Whatever answer you give today, I assure you no one will be penalized. After all, the committee's decisions aren't ours to control. I just want your honest opinion. Yes, Principal. Please wait a moment. I've recorded everything that happened today. In truth, she doesn't know how to answer. She doesn't want to hide anything, but she still isn't sure how much she should say. What's the right answer? What does right even mean? Her mind goes blank as she flips open her notebook. The most important thing is to be yourself, to become the person you want to be. The image of the person who said those words flickers in her mind. What will she say? And what does she want to say? I think... She takes a deep breath. I think Miss Matilda is an impressive monitor assistant. And in the distant future, maybe she'll become the great Matilda Bouanich. The cheerful tone makes Matilda jolt upright. She fumbles out her portable communicator, her hands trembling. Miss Matilda Bouanich, your clearance level has been updated to level 3 investigator. The St. Pavlov Foundation looks forward to your continued contributions. She doesn't read the rest. Holding the device close, her emotions soar like a roller coaster shooting straight from the depths up into the clouds. Maman, look! Matilda leaps into her mother's arms, and their day ends with a heartily celebratory dinner. The next morning, Matilda Bouanich reports to the St. Pavlov Foundation, ready to receive her first mission as a level 3 investigator. And with that, that's the end of that. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that tidbit of the story here. I honestly didn't think it would be this short, and I honestly didn't think there were choices. Like, quick time event and, make a choice. But it all ends well. Proud of Matilda, despite my annoyance of her. But still, I think she is growing. She has grown. A lot. And in hopes that she will become a 6-star character as well, maybe. But who knows? To me, honest opinion, she is my least used character. But I think I like her personality. And it's what people liked about her. She's an inspiration to the children, I believe. She's a stickler for the rules, but sometimes she can bend the rules because she knows what to do. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like or dislike. Any comments as well if you have anything to say about the video, about the character, or the story itself. I mean, I can't imagine an environment of a school environment like that, to be honest. But given the circumstances that the world faces, it may be understandable. But still. Yeah. And of course, if you wish to check out my YouTube channel, please be sure to click the subscribe button to support my channel, as well as clicking that bell to be notified when my video does come out, be released in my channel. And of course, I will continue on with a new event, I don't know if you call it a minigame, but it's not a minigame, it's more like an event. But I don't think it's an event, it's more like a new feature, I believe. I will only do once, I think in the next video, I will do one session of what will be something called the Syndrome of Silence. I think I will do one session of the Syndrome of Silence, and I just want to know how it looks like, maybe one session and that's it, because I have no intention of trying to do an hour of it, but I will try to do the video, a single session of it, and to try and understand what it is. And with that, I will say no more. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the new video. So peace out, have an awesome weekend, And if it's still cold at where you guys are at, stay warm, drink some warm tea, cocoa, coffee, whatever brings you warmth. And I will see you guys in a new one. Bye!